Good morning, students. Today we are going to see the part 3 revision, that is corrosion and alloys in this revision part. Okay, before we go further in this chapter, as I told you that there will be an reduction in this chapter wise little portion of it is, that is, you no need to study about extraction of metals, but we are going to deal with the other part, that is corrosion and alloys. We know that corrosion means corrosion means it is an activity that the metal is eaten up by the action of air or moisture or by the chemical when exposed into the atmosphere. Some of the metals they do rust. Okay, corrosion and iron metal can rust. As we have been studied in this, that corrosion of iron takes place, so there will be a formula which can be assessed to it, is that a formula which we can write is Fe2O3 dot XH2O. X depends upon the number of water it get moisture. Now, how can we make a simple experiment on what are the requirement for a rusting of an iron? We know that for rusting of an iron, there should be presence of air, presence of moisture, that is water. As we studied an activity in the first one, he has taken an calcium chloride particles with the iron nail and closed it with a cork. And in the second one, he has taken iron nail with a boiled water and oil at the upper layer and closed it. And in the third one, he has taken iron nail and with a unboiled water, that means pure drinking water. So what we were able to see in the first one, there was no rust formed. Okay, because anhydrous calcium chloride will absorb the moisture which is being present, that's why iron does not corrode. And in the second one, as we can see, second one there was no rust because it was an air free. There was an water which we have poured into the test tube, was it is boiled one, as well as we kept an upper layer as an oil, so there was no exchange of the moisture being present over there, that's why it does not rust. In the third one, that is the third one which we kept with the water, it do rust, it has been rusted. Okay, both air and water together in the third test tube, this tells us the rusting of iron takes place in the presence of both air and water together. Okay, how we can prevent this rusting? We can prevent rusting by painting, by greasing oil, by galvanization. Okay, painting, we can paint the gates or iron articles like window, grill and all, so that rusting cannot occur. We do grease some of the metals on the surface like tools and machine parts made up of iron and steel smudged with grease or oil to prevent it from rusting. Galvanization, making a Okay, galvanization means depositing of thin layer of zinc. You can see here, depositing a thin layer of zinc metal on an iron object. It is called as galvanization. Clear? Okay, this example you can take, it comes under two buckets also. And the fourth one is tin plating and chromium plating on the metal so that the iron articles do not rust. You can take an example of tiffin boxes which are made up of steel are nickel plated from outside and inside, and outside it protected from rusting. You can see here a tap also which is being present, it is very shining. It is not the pure iron, it is a chromium plating is being done on type bicycles or bars or car bumpers made up of iron and steel to protect them from rusting. And another one is rusting of iron can be preventing by alloying, by mixing with other materials to make it as a stainless steel. Okay. Another part as we go through it is an alloys. Alloys are of different materials made together. Here we are going to see, as we have seen in the chapter also, alloy is a metal which has malleability, ductility, strength, hardness. Okay, suppose as we have taken an example when we have went through the videos of chapter wise. Okay, in this aluminium is very light but it is not strong. So to make it as a strong, we do mix with the magnesium and copper. So magnesium and copper, we mixed it with an aluminium. So we made an duralium, which is light as well as a strong. Okay. And one more, to make it hit as an hard material to aluminium, we just added on to it a we just added with the magnesium, not with copper. So we are able to get magnesium, which is light as well as hard. So some of the materials is being added with the other materials to make it as an alloys, but they give the properties of the pure metal. Okay. And the next one which we can see is an steel. When a small amount of carbon is mixed with iron, we get an alloy of steel. This alloy is strong, it does not rust or it may rust less. Okay, so alloys are prepared for our benefit. So they are not more resistant to corrosion, they have low melting and boiling point, they conduct lower electricity. There are many elements which we use in our day-to-day life, but they are alloys. Like when we stood first in the class, we do get gold medal, brass medal, bronze. These all are alloys which are being made. Okay, as we take an example of a brass. Brass, it is an alloy of copper and zinc. It is used in cooking utensils as well as pipeline as well as in medals. And in bronze, it is made up of copper and tin. It is being very tough and high resistant. It is used as well as utensils for trophies also. Soldering, it is an alloy which is made up of alloy of tin and lead. This alloy is used in welding the metals for joining. Amalgam, it is an alloy of mercury, okay, which is used by dentist, okay, to fill our teeth cavities. Okay, and next but not the least is an alloy of gold. The gold which we get it from the market, which we turn it into jewelries, it is 32 carat gold, but the biscuit form which we get is the pure form 24 carat gold. We make it into 22 carat gold because it has to be molded in different forms. So to make it into a different forms, we make it to be alloyed with the copper. Fine. I repeat once more. First you need to go through the corrosion, how we can prevent it, preventing of rusting, and activity compulsory, alloy, how many alloys are being present and with whom we have to be joined, brass, bronze, solder, amalgam, purity of the gold. This many we have to go through it carefully. And in this chapter we are not going to deal with the extraction of metals. Okay, I repeat once more. In this chapter we are going to go with the reaction of physical and chemical property. First one, I'll just write it down. First we need to go through the physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. Second one, H2 gas when liberated, what happens? If the reaction does not, air bubbles goes off and some metals will float, that one. And the third part, you need to go to the reactivity of HNO3, why it does not produce H2 gas. Okay, and the fourth one which you are going to deal with, it is the corrosion, and the fifth one is alloys. No need to study extraction from this chapter. Am I clear with my words? Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. Have a nice day.